Temptation is all around us, especially in today's day and age. It's worse than ever, with more of us being tempted through our phones and social media. It's funny because social media can bring us so much good and invaluable information, but it's also just a click away from unlocking extremely addictive temptations that can ruin our lives. So I'll be telling you 6 tips to overcome these temptations today. And make sure you stick around to the end because I have a bonus tip for everyone as well. But first, I'm going to come clean with the struggles I've had in the past. When I was in 3rd grade, I was never really a chubby or overweight, but my mom was so worried about me getting fat that she actually put me on this strict diet for an entire week. So she didn't actually feed me for a week. She gave me this drink that supposedly has all the nutrition you need to survive, but she didn't actually feed me for an entire week. Looking back, I think it's a pretty funny story because I was only a 3rd grader. Right now, I don't really drink alcohol, but I do have a habit of eating unhealthy food at night, especially on the weekends. I like to just kind of eat junk food at night. It makes me feel bloated and then it disrupts my sleep, so that's the last thing I really want to avoid. These tips help me overcome the temptations. First, you must identify triggers. Understand what triggers your temptations. Is it stress, boredom, or certain environments? Identifying triggers involves understanding the specific circumstances, emotions, or situations that lead to temptations. So I have a tendency to look at my phone every time I finish a small task. And I look at my social media post and then it sometimes ends up being a lot longer than I expected. And the reasoning behind that is because human beings, we always want to get some sort of a reward after finishing a hard task. And cell phone is the easiest reward I can get that's around me. So for me, the trigger to go back to my phone is me finishing a task. So I really want to have a different type of reward other than just a cell phone. So what I can do is that either I substitute that with something else or just not have it at all and just continue to work. But I have to watch out for that moment that when I finish a task, that's when I want to grab my phone. Number 2, practice self-awareness. Pay attention to your thoughts and emotions. Practice mindfulness techniques to become more aware of your urges before they lead to temptation. You know, when I was growing up, people used to get beat up by the teacher or the parents if you're doing something that you're not supposed to do. If you think about it, that's pretty cruel, but that actually really helps with the resisting temptations, okay? Because you know, if you do something you're not supposed to do, you're gonna get in big trouble. Not just the word, but you actually get beat up, it hurts. But we don't have that anymore. In today's society, you have to have that self-awareness. You gotta be the one who tells you what to do or not to do. And one thing that really helped, when you have the temptation of doing something, for example, let's say I really wanna eat this junk food right now. What I do is I procrastinate. So instead of saying, oh, I'm gonna stop the urge, I say, hey, you know what, I really want this junk food, but I'm gonna have it 2 hours later. That's easier than saying never, right? And then 2 hours later, you may not have the temptation to eat that junk food. Or if you have that temptation again, you just postpone it for another 2 hours. Try that and it really works for me and it has helped me with avoiding all this junk food. Number 3, develop your willpower. Like a muscle, willpower can be strengthened with the practice. Start with the small challenges and gradually increase the difficulty to build your self-control and resilience against temptations. Let's say you're alcoholic and you try to quit drinking cold turkey. That's going to be really difficult. Doctors don't even recommend it because it can actually make you sick. You want to gradually decrease the dose of alcohol consumptions over time and then start working on your willpower to resist it. And eventually you're going to be able to quit drinking. I think the topic of willpower is really about the fight between your mind and your feeling. Your body wants alcohol. You're desiring all this drinking that makes you feel good, but your mind knows that you don't want to touch it. So you really want to develop the willpower to win your feelings over. But if you gradually decrease the consumption and then you're not drinking as much, it's going to be easier to quit from that point on. So we're talking about baby steps, but it's really important that you get started. Number 4, visualize success. Imagine yourself overcoming temptations and achieving your goals. Visualizing success can boost your confidence and determination to resist temptation when it arises. A perfect example of that is when you're running a marathon and you see a finish line, you have this supernatural energy to sprint as fast as you could for the last 15 seconds so you can cross the finish line. It goes a little like a life. You don't really see the finish line, but you just keep pushing yourself to get there one step at a time. During the course, you have the image of you succeeding the goal, achieving the goal, like crossing the finish line just like marathon. Number 5, learn from setbacks. setbacks. Setbacks are a natural part of the process. Instead of dwelling on failures, use them as learning opportunities. Analyze what triggered the temptation and develop strategies to handle similar situations better in the future. And let's be real here. There are going to be setbacks, and it's part of the process. And I honestly believe that without setbacks, you're not going to grow. So every time I experience problems and difficulties in life, believe it or not, I actually say thank you, God, because I know this will make you grow. Number 6, practice patience and persistence. Be patient with yourself and recognize that change takes time. Stay persistent with your efforts to overcome temptations, even when faced with challenges. Celebrate your progress along the way and stay focused on your long-term goals. If you have been addicted to something, for example, alcohol for 10 years, and you try to quit in 2 months, that's not a fair assessment. I would say if you have been hooked on something for 10 years, it's gonna take exactly the same amount of time to quit. And good things in life generally takes a long time. So be patient, don't be too hard on yourself, and then it's okay to take small steps as long as you're moving forward. We all go through temptations, but something that has helped me so much with overcoming it is the bonus tip, which is meditation. Through meditation, you actually become more aware of your temptations without acting on them impulsively. It also helps you stay calm and think clearly, making it easier to resist urges, make decisions in line with your values. Check out my video on meditation right here. Until next time, my friend, stay feeling alive.